recording button. The session is being recorded. In this session, I will go over some questions from your case study. Case study is 10%, okay? At the same time, those questions are served as review for final exam. Case study is about Chapter 13 and Chapter 14. There are 3 questions coming from Chapter 13, Chapter 14. 2 questions from 16, 1 question from Chapter 12. Okay. All right. So you ready? Just to confirm, you can see my computer. Can somebody confirm that you can see my computer? All right. Let me see. Why I cannot see the chart? Okay, thank you, Emma. Great. All right, so question 1. Just to adjust my computer screen. Okay, this is the question. So, if the White Rock Fire Department invests now in a new ladder system for several of their trucks, that would save $35,000 every 6 months in repair cost. Okay, that would save $35,000 every 6 months. What single cash investment made now is equivalent to the repair payments if interest is 8% compounded quarterly and the payments are made at, there are 6 different situations. 6 different situations. Let's do all 6 situations. Okay, there are 6 situations. Situation 1A. If the payments are made at the end of every 6 months for 15 years. So if you make a payment every 6 months, PY equal to 2, obviously, right? PY equal to 2. And you make this payment for 15 years, term N equal to 2 times 15 equal to 30. And it is at the end mode. Okay, and what is the question here? The question asks you, what is the present value? That is the question. Calculate PV. So compute PV. Compute PV. Given 8% interest compounded quarterly means CY is 4. PY is 2. Term N is given. Okay, and PMT is given. PMT 35,000. That is PMT. And then compute PV. Okay, so now I will use calculator to do question A. Question A. So as usual, second quit. Okay, remember you need to, this is end, nothing on top right corner, it is end mode. Okay. And then second, set up PY, CY, second PY, PY is 2, enter. Down arrow key, CY is 2, enter. Second quit. Okay, now enter the given numbers. 30 is term N, 30 term N, 8 IY, 35,000 negative PMT, 0 future value, compute PV. So that is your answer for question A. Okay, that is your answer for question A. Any questions for question A? So now let's do question B. Question B. B said at the beginning of every 6 months for 10 years, at the beginning, your calculator must set at begin mode. Okay, so how do you set begin mode? Second quit. Okay, how do you set begin? You quit second began, second set, second quit. So now you see top right corner BGN, that is begin mode. Okay, so go back to question B. At the beginning of every 6 months for 10 years, so PY is 2. 10 year N equal to 20. It is begin mode. Okay, so let's enter the number. It is still PY equal to 2. Double check PY is 2. CY is 2. Okay, question B. And now make sure it is begin mode. 20 is term N. 8 is interest. 35,000 is PMT. Negative PMT. 0 FV. Compute PV. Okay, you got this number. Compute PV. So that is question B. Question B. Okay. Make sure you enter the begin mode. Questions so far? Question C. Question C. At the end of every 6 months for 8 years, but deferred for 4 years. Question C. Question C. Deferred for 4 years. Okay, I will erase this and I will remake the note. First, question C is at the end mode. So we need to change the computer to end. Right now it is begin. I need to change to end. Second began. Second quit. Or second set. Then second quit. Now it is begin mode. Okay. And question C. This is question C. At the payment is made every 6 months for 8 years, but deferred for 4 years. So there are 2 periods. The payment was deferred for 4 years, and then you make a payment for 8 years. The question asks you, what is the present value now at this point? So remember, if I draw this diagram, it shows a typical 2-step. Step 1, calculate the present value here. Calculate the present value at the beginning of 8 years or at the end of 4 years. Step 2, calculate the present value right now. So 2 steps. Step 1, calculate the present value. And this present value serves as a future value in step 1 or step 2. Maybe I will not confuse you. I will do step by step. Step 1, calculate the present value for the annuity at the beginning of 8 years. Calculate the present value at this point. Okay, that is step 1. Okay, let's do it. Do step 1. In step 1, PY is 2, CY is 2. Just double check. Okay, so PY is 2, CY is 2. And in step 1, in step 1 for 8 years. Okay, 8 years. During this 8-year, term N equal to 16 because every 6 months you make payment. Interest is 8. Okay, PMT negative 35,000, FV 0. You can calculate present value. Okay, so 16 is term N, 8 is interest, 35,000 negative PMT, 0 FV, compute PV. Okay, so you get the PV is 40,783.0346. So that is step 1, present value at the beginning of 8 year. Okay. And once you get to step 1, step 2, calculate the present value now. And how do you calculate present value now? This present value in step 1 becomes future value in step 2. Did you see this? The present value in step 1 becomes future value in step 2. Where is step 2? From here to here, that is step 2. Okay, so this value is future value. So I will change it to FV. FV equal to 40,783. FV. Okay. And for these 3 years, N equal to 8. 8 is N. Okay. Interest is still 8%. 8 is interest. PMT is 0. 0 is PMT during these 4 years. Compute PV. So you get 29,799. Okay. The number does not look like this. I need to double check. Okay, I need to double check. The number does not agree with the given answer. I need to double check. So I need to check from step 1. Okay. Step D at the same for 8 years, but deferred for 4 years. Deferred for 4 years. So during this 4-year period, term N equal to H. N equal to H. This is for 8 years. Deferred for 4 years. I will double check from step 1. Okay. So PY is 2. CY is 2. In step 1 for 8 years, 35,000, 35,000, that is negative PMT, 0 is FV, H is interest, 16 is term N, compute PV, 40783, this is number correct. This PV is the future value for step 2. So future value equal to this. 0 is PMT. N is 8. 8 is term N. Compute PV. So I still get this number. I will double check why this number does not agree with the given number. Let me double at the end of every 6 months for 8 years, but deferred for 4 years. but the method is the same, 2 steps. Okay. So I need to double check why those two numbers not agree with each other. This is the number I get. Let me double at the end. Yes, end of 6 months for 8 years, but default for 4 years. Wouldn't this period value 8, 9 is N, compute PV? No. All right, so step C, I need to double check. Okay, I'll come back. Step D, at the beginning for 6 years, for 6 months, for 9 years, but default for 3 years. So question D is still 2 steps. Question D is for 9 years, but default for 3 years. Okay, this is 3 years. D for 9 years, this is 9 years. Still step 1, calculate the present value for the annuity. Step 2, calculate the present value. And this time, your calculator must be BGN mode. So let's set the BGN. Second, begin. Second, begin. Second, enter. Second, quit. It is begin mode. And it is still PY equal to 2, CY equal to 2. Okay. And now let's calculate step 1. During step 1, N equal to 18. Okay, N equal to 18. So 18 is term N. Interest is 8. 8 is interest. PMT 35,000. 0FV. Compute PV. So in step 1, I got PV equal to and this PV becomes future value for step 2. Okay. This PV becomes future value. This is future value. And for step 2, 0 is PMT. 0 is PMT. Term N equal to 6. So 6 is term N. Interest is still 8. Then compute PV. And I got this number. Still, I don't agree with this number. I got 36,417.567. Still, I didn't get the given number. I need to double check. Okay, but the procedure is the same, 2 steps. Okay, 2 steps. So that is a D. And question E. At the end of every 6 months in perpetuity. For perpetuity, usually you just need the formula. Okay, you just need the formula. Let me see the P1. Oh, I know why I didn't get the correct answer. Nobody pointing out. CY is 4, not 2. every time when I did my calculation, okay, CY is 4. That's the reason I didn't get those numbers. Now I'm sure I will get those numbers. I will start with the current question D. Why I didn't get correct answer? Because I entered CY equal to 2, but the question given CY equal to 4. That is the mistake I made. That is the reason I didn't get the correct answer. Now I will redo step D. Okay, I will redo step D. Okay. All right, so to redo it, our second equate, PY is 2, but CY is 4. Enter. Second equate. And now I'll redo step D. D step 1, present value. Okay. Present value must not be this one. So term N equal to 18. 18 is N. 8 is interest. 35,000 is negative PMT. 0 FV, compute PV. So this is PV. And this PV becomes future value for the 3 year. Okay, for 3 year, this is future value. And for 3 year, 6 is N, 0 is PMT. Compute PV. See, I'm pretty sure that's correct number here. This number is agree with my calculator number, $36,229. Okay. So that is a step question D. Okay. Any questions? Question E. Question E. If the payment is at the end of every 6 months in perpetuity, what is the present value? You use formula PMT over P. P equal to, so question E. Calculate equivalent rate per payment period. P equal to 1 plus I raised to power C minus 1. And what is C? C equal to CY over PY. Okay, so P equal to 1 plus I. I is 8% compounded quarterly divided by 4. CY is 4. PY is 2 minus 1. Okay. Now calculate this number. What is P? Okay. So I'm going to use this calculator. Calculate what is P. I will go to get rid of the begin, second enter, second quit. It is the normal stat, but default is end. Now I need to calculate 1 plus 8% over 4. Okay. So 1 plus 8%. 8% is 0.08 divided by 4 equal. And this number raised to power, yx is raised to power 2. 4 over 2 is 2, and equal. This number minus 1 does not look right. 1 plus I raised to power, oh, I know what. CY over C, CY over 2. This number does not look right. I will use Excel. Use Excel to calculate P. P equal to 1 plus I. I is 8% compounded quarterly raised to power C. C is CY over PY. CY is 4, PY is 2, then minus 1. But this should be the number, 0.0404 is P. This one should be 4/2. I will type in my, oops. So my Excel result is 0.0404. That is my P. Okay. I will double check why the Excel. Okay. So after you get P, you use PMT divided by P, you get the present value. Okay. So present value is 35,000 divided 0.0404 equal. So this is the number here. Question E. Okay. So just use 35,000 divided by 0.0404. Get that number. And question E. At the beginning of every 6 months in perpetuity. Remember, when you have BGN, perpetuity formula is PMT plus PMT over T. So this number plus 35,000 is the answer. Okay. So this number is 35,000 plus 35,000 over 0.0404. Okay. So any questions so far? Any questions? Bit confused. It's okay if I have you go over E and F with me again after. So E and F. Let me see. Question E. Oh, this may be. Yeah, I just saw your message, Emma. Sorry. You can go over with me after the lecture, okay? Any other questions? Okay. So this is this question. Now, mortgage payment question here. Mortgage payment question. A 38,000 mortgage is taken out on July 1st, to be repaid by monthly payments, rounded up to nearest $10. The payments are due on the first day of each month starting July 1st. The amortization period is 12 years, and interest is 3.8% compounded semi-annually for 6 months. Construct amortization schedule for the 6 months term. Okay. So in this question, you need to calculate monthly payment. Okay. The question asks, what is monthly payment? What is the monthly payment? To do that, you need to use calculator. Okay. And remember the keyword, the first day means it is began mode. The payment is made at the first day. You need to set up your computer to BGN mode. So second, quit. Okay. Set began mode. Second, began. Second, set. Second, quit. Okay. So now it is BGN mode. And then set PY. PY is 12 because you make monthly payment. 1 year has 12 months. PY is 12. Down arrow, okay, CY. CY is 2 because interest is compounded semi-annually. Okay, CY is 2. Enter. Okay. And then second, quit. So I just set up CYPY. And amortization 12 years. 12 year means 1 year has 12 months. Term N equal to 144. 12 times 12. 12 times 12. So 144. That is term N. And the interest is 3.8%. 3.8 is interest. Okay. PV is 38,000. 38,000 is a PV. FV is 0. Compute PMT. So you got PMT $327.45. Okay, that is PMT. I heard questions. This confused because it is 12-year time period, but at 6 months term semi-annually. The 12 months semi-annually. The 12 months semi-annually, 6 months term, I couldn't figure out. Sorry, Emma, for the confusion. So the first question asks you to calculate payment, monthly payment. Monthly payment is always based on, in this question, 12-year term, not 6 months. 6 months, it is just ask you to construct a payment schedule. Okay, ask you to construct a payment schedule for 6 months. You see, 6 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just ask you to construct this 6 months term. When you calculate mortgage, you need to based on amount, not based on the 6 months. Amortization period is 12 months. So N equal to 12 years. 12 years is the same as 144 months. Okay. And Abdul asked, how do we do this in Excel? But only put down the first 3 months. You do the Excel. Yes, when you do the Excel, you can put the 6 months because it is asked you for 6 months. Okay. Any other questions? So right now we haven't done anything. We just did the monthly payment, PMT. That's it. My calculator shows $726, $27. But the question asks you to round to nearest tens. So you should get $330. I heard another question. What was PY? PY equal to 12. Thank you for your question, Emma. Ask more questions. This is the time to interact with me. PY equal to 12 because you make payment every month. By definition, PY represents how many payments in 1 year. How many payments in 1 year? So PY is 12, not 6. Okay. I understand your confusion for the 6 months term confused you. Okay. So PY equal to 12. You can ignore the 6 months. Actually, the 6 months does not have any calculation part. It just asks you to construct payment for 6 months. That's it. Okay, Emma. Okay, great. Please ask questions. Okay, stop me at any point. Okay, payment is it is asked for rounded to the nearest $10. So payment is $330. the calculator I get 327. When you round to nearest tens, $10, 330. Okay, any questions? Any questions? And now, question from one student, how do I do this in Excel? In Excel, you construct a table like this, and then you do calculation. Okay? So now, let's do calculation. Okay? Let's do calculation. Because the table is already constructed, I will just base on this table. Okay? I will just on this table. To calculate this, the first step, you need to calculate equivalent rate per payment period, P. Remember, when you have PY not equal to CY, you need to calculate P as equivalent rate per payment. And what is P? P is 1 plus I raised to power C minus 1. So I is 3.8% compounded semi-annually divided by 2. What is C? C is CY over PY. CY is 2. PY is 12. Okay, so plug in, you get P minus 1, P 0.00314. I pause for a moment. Any questions for equivalent rate per payment period, P? How do you calculate P? Any questions? All right, so let's keep on going. So you take the mortgage, the outstanding balance is 38,000. This is outstanding balance. On July 1st, you make your first payment. How much? $330. Okay, how much? $330. And then, what is the interest paid? The interest equal to outstanding balance times periodic interest rate. But this rate use P, not I. When you time interest rate, use P, not I. So outstanding balance is 38,000 times P. You get $119.39 for the interest paid. I pause for a moment. Any questions for calculating interest paid? Any questions? Outstanding balance 38,000 times P. That is interest paid. And once you calculate interest paid, what is the principal paid? Use monthly payment. 330 minus interest paid. That is the principal repaid, $210. Any questions? Monthly payment minus interest. That is the principal. And once you get the principal, outstanding balance, use the previous balance, 38,000 minus principal repaid. You get outstanding balance for the first period. Okay, any questions? So we did period 1, we did the first month. Repeat yourself for second month. August 1st, starting August 1st is second month. For second month, you still pay $330. And the interest paid is outstanding balance times P. What is outstanding balance? you have to go to previous outstanding balance. That number is 37789.39. This number times P. P is here, 0.00314 times P. You get interest paid. Okay. And I need the result. So I need to calculate this number. What is 37789.39 times 0.00314.884? Okay, so 118.9927. 118.9927. So that is interest paid, $118. And the principal paid, use monthly payment, $330 minus 118.9927. You get principal repaid. Okay, so 330 minus this number, 211. Okay, $211. That is a principal paid. Okay, and outstanding balance. Use the previous outstanding balance, 37789.39 minus principal repaid 1211.0073. Then you keep on going. I did it 2 months. You complete the rest of the months. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. So that is a amortization schedule. Okay. All right. So now another question from chapter 14. Okay. Connor repaid $15,000 for retirement annuity, from which he will receive $2,067 at the end of every month. Every month means PY equal to 12. The payments are deferred for 15 years, and interest is 6% compounded monthly. Compounded monthly means CY equal to 12. Question A, how many payments will Connor receive? How many payments? Okay. So let's see. Connor has paid for $15,000 for a retirement annuity, at which he will receive. But this is deferred for 15 years. Again, 2 steps. From here, this is today, now to here is 15 years. 15 years. And then at the end of every month, the payments are deferred for 15 years. Okay, so 2 steps. Step 1, what is the future value? What is the future value of 15,000? What is the future value of 15,000? During these 15 years, interest is 6% compounded monthly. Term N equal to 180. Why? 1 year has 12 months. You have 15 years. So 12 times 15, 180. During these 15 years, you do not pay anything. PMT is 0. Present value is 15,000. The question is, what is the future value after 15 years? That is step 1. Okay, so let's do step 1. The future value after 15 years. Calculator. Second began. Second PY. PY is 12. Enter. Down arrow key. CY is 12. Second quit. Okay. 180. No, I typed wrong. I heard questions. Let me check. CY is 12. PY is 12. Yes, Emma, great observation. Okay. So CY is 12. Down arrow key. CY is 12. PY is 12. CY is 12. Okay. See, I write down here. PY is 12, CY is 12. So after that, 180 is a term N. 6 is interest. Present value 15,000 negative present value. 0 is PMT. Compute future value. See, you got this future value. 36811. That is step 1. Compute future value. You got this number. Okay. Based on these 4 numbers. Enter 4 numbers, you will get this number, future value. Any questions? Once you get this future value is the present value for the annuity. Did you see that? At this point, this number is the present value for the annuity. Okay, so I enter PV. I change to PV. PV is this number. Okay, PV. And also monthly payment during this period, PMT equal to $2,067. Okay, so 2067 is a negative PMT. 0 is a FV. 6 is a interest. Compute N. So I get term N equal to 18.699055. Term N. I didn't get exactly with what I get yesterday. When I did this question, I'll double check. Okay, because I did begin mode. I should do the end mode. END end. I forgot to change switch. This is the mistake you may also have. What a mistake? It should be END end, but I have BGN on my computer. Ha ha ha. Okay. Did you see the mistake? Every step is all steps are end mode. I made mistake. Very sorry. All steps for this question. Thank you, Emma, for your observation. All steps in this question end, END end. Now I'll quickly redo it. So I quickly go second quit, second began, This situation happened during final exam because the questions are randomized. Some questions need to begin, some questions need to end. So you need to have clear mind. Is this question begin or is this question end? Okay. So I will change to end mode. So now my question is end mode. Okay. I will compute my term n. I just click one button, compute term n. I got the correct answer because all the number I entered is still stored. Okay, so the number is 18.6991. Okay, so this number is last time when I did 1, 2, 3, I did 4, 6. Because it is asked round all immediate, see? Round all immediate value to 6 decimal. This answer is still not satisfied. I only have 4 decimal places. So I need to change my computer again to have 6 decimal places. And you also need to do this. Read requirements. This is mathematics. It is financial mathematics, and it demands accuracy. Okay, so I'm going to change to 6 decimal places to my computer. I go to second quit, do second, format, type in number 6, enter, second quit. Now I have 6 decimal places. Okay, and then I go compute term n. I get exactly the number I got before with 6 digits. You do not need to re-enter the numbers because the most recent number I entered is this question. That's why I just need to press compute. That's it. Okay. All right. So question A asks you to round to nearest whole number. So 18.666 rounded to whole number is 19. Okay. Any questions? This is question A. Question B. We did question A. Question B. What is the size of the final payment? What is the size of final payment? Okay. And remember, we have 18.6999 payments. The final payment is the present value of the 18th payments times 1 plus interest. 1 plus interest. Okay, so we need to calculate what is the present value at the end of 18th payment. What is the present value at the end of 18th payment? Okay, and how do we do that? You just need to enter 18. 18 is term n. 18 is term n. And then 18 is term n. No, to calculate the present value at the end of we take a prospective. Now I want to calculate present value at the beginning of actually term 18. That is actually you need to n equal to this fraction point, just fraction point. So, oops, I did it wrong after. So just enter those 4 numbers. term N is fraction point. IY is 6, PMT negative 2067, FV is 0. Okay, you get the present value. Okay, so I will enter 0.699055. That is term N. Interest is 6. 6 is interest. 2067. That is negative payment. 0 is FV. Compute PV. And you got this number. Compute PV. And use this number times interest. Use this number times interest. You will get this number here. And I get questions. How did you get N for this? Remember I get, thank you, Dev. So Dev answered your question. Use 18.699 minus 16. You get a fraction part. That is the last payment. The period for last payment, Emma. Did you get it, Emma? Dev answered your question. So how do I get this N? You use 18. Use this number, 18.699055 minus 18. You get fraction part. And then you calculate present value for that fraction part. And times 1 plus I, you get final answer here. You need to practice by yourself. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Let me check the answer questions. I'm not sure. The more steps there are, the more becoming confused. The easier to talk with you later. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah. I'm sorry for the confusion. You can stay after I finish this presentation. I can talk to you individually, okay? All right, so that is question B, okay? And question C, what is question C? How much, question C, how much will Connor receive in total? How much will receive in total? Question C. How much you'll receive in total? Question C. Okay, you use 12 months times monthly payment 2064 plus last payment. That is total you received. Make sense? Okay, that is question C. Question D, how much will be the interest? How much will be the interest? You use question D, you use question C minus original amount, that is the interest. Use answer from question C minus original amount 15,000, that is your interest. Okay. Again, if you have questions, you can stay after my lecture. I have one question left. Okay. But I love you ask questions right now if you want. Okay. All right, last question, then we're done for the review. Okay. Okay, this question. Omega Venture Group needs to borrow to finance a project. Repayment of the loan involves payment of 1,640 at the end of every 3 months for 6 years. No payments made during the development period of 3 years. interest 9% compounded annually. Okay, so now let's analyze the given number first. Interest compounded annually means CY equal to 1. And the payment every 3 months means PY equal to 4. Okay, and then you have development payment, development period 3 years. It is deferred for 3 years, the same as deferred for 3 years. And the payment is for 6 years. After 3 years, payment for 6 years. And during those 6 years, payment 1,640, term N equal to 6 years times 4. Because 1 year you make 4 payments. So term N equal to 24. Interest is 9. Okay. And you can calculate what is the present value here at the beginning of 6 years. What is the present value here? Okay, step 1. So let's do step 1. Okay. Do step 1. What is the present value at the beginning of this 4-year annuity? So make sure it is end PY equal to 4. Second PY 4. Enter. Down arrow key. CY is 1. Enter. Second quit. Okay. So 1,640 negative PMT 0 FV 9 is IY 24 is term N compute PV. So I get PV this number. I also write down here. Okay. This is FV is 0. You have 4 numbers. You calculate the PV. $3,040. Okay, PV. And once you get this PV, calculate what is the present value right now. Present value right now is the money you need to borrow. Okay, and this present value right now, term N equal to 12 because 3 years, every year 3 months. So N equal to 12. And PMT is 0 during this 3-year period. PMT is 0. Okay. And this PV, present value at the beginning of 6 years, becomes future value at the end of 3 years. This PV becomes future value. So I type in FV, future value. And 0 is PMT. 12 is term N. Interest is the same. Compute PV. So this is final answer. Agree with the answer provided here. This is the money you need to borrow. Okay. This is question A. Question B. The amount will be repaid. Okay. So every month you need to pay 1,640. How many months? 24 months. You multiply these 2 numbers, you get the amount you repaid. Okay. Question C. How much is the interest? Use the answer for question B minus the answer for question A is the amount of interest. B minus A is the amount of interest. All right. So any questions? That concludes actually the review for final. At the same time, those questions is your case study questions. Okay. I will stop recording.